Hi there, and welcome to my channel, Hisame Artwork. So I'm trying a new format for my speed paintings that I hope you'll find more interesting than just music. And a frequent question I get asked is, how did you become an artist? So that's what I'm going to tell you guys about in this video. And so usually art is the first option for people that become artists, and their parents force them to become doctors or accountants. They blow their degrees and then become artists and live happily ever after because they found their true selves. So they kind of have this journey. Not me. My first option was to be a scientist, okay? And my teachers were like, no, 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 no. You'll starve. Become an accountant or lawyer instead. So my teachers were kind of bit anti-science, okay? Even though that is my country's biggest export and one of the most secure ways out of poverty. Anyway, I wanted to become a marine biologist, but we only have access to the Black Sea, so my teacher stated that as a reason against my career choice, as though other bodies of water don't exist in this world. And true, there's not much to be done in researching or managing the Black Sea. It's not the Great Barrier Reef. Though, from what I've heard, the Australian Reef now has about as much life as the Black Sea, so that kind of sorted itself out. Anyway, I thought, okay, no marine biology. I like science fiction. I'll become an astronomer. But then my dad brought me back to Earth by reminding me I kinda suck at math. Yeah, I had nines and tens in physics, but math in high school we had a terrible math teacher, so those that couldn't afford tutors struggle in math, like seriously struggle. Now, if you suck at something that is just because your teacher is incompetent, it can be a fairly good sign that you have no significant inner talent that trumps all adversities. So just so you know, at university things are way tougher and nobody's gonna be holding your hands, okay? You're on your own. So I thought, you know what, Dad, you're right. I'm good at drawing, so I'll become an animator. Because no matter the teachers, I've always did art that everybody considered to be good. So at this point, I was in the 11th grade, and a decision needed to be made. And I think the adults in my life just got tired of shooting down my ideas. Thus, I spent my 12th grade looking for animation universities in the European Union who would take me. But turns out nobody wants artists. Everybody wants physicists, chemists, engineers, and doctors. And animation degrees are super expensive. But most crushing is the rent. Like the housing was dream crushing. For a brief moment, I did look up Japanese and American universities, but they don't give any financial support to foreigners. And as a European Union citizen, I had some benefits within the European Union if I was talented, which I never got to see if I was worth any help because in 2008 the financial crisis happened and all that financial aid dried up for arts, dried up for history, business, socials, and so on. Only STEM had the scholarships open. Because I guess no matter how much more valued sports and business are, society can't really function without doctors and engineers. So those are hard jobs that nobody really wants. So I guess you better offer the education for free because the salaries are nowhere near athletes or CEOs' income. So like, how do you get back your investment? There's a supply, demand, and benefit imbalance over there. So anyway, I started looking for animation courses at my national universities. We didn't have any animation universities back then, and that's how basically I ended up at the National Film and Theater University, since film was the closest thing I had to what I wanted, animation. And I thought maybe I'll emigrate after school or during school. After all, my dad was an engineer by training, but he worked his whole life as a sound designer for film. So I could, try and maneuver my way to finally get into the place I wanted. So anyway, my dad kind of made half his money from ads and the rest from films with foreigners. So he told me to go to marketing university in my spare time. So I was going to film university and having to go to marketing as well. And he told me you'll learn some stuff, much drama between artists and business people. And if you can be a translator, you'll be more valuable. And if you can move between the worlds more easily, that would be a bonus for you. So I did, and that's why I have 2 degrees. Most people assume incorrectly that I did economics first and then became an artist, but nope. I became like an artist first, and I did the other stuff in my spare time at the same time. Anyway, it's confusing. I'm trying to condense a very convoluted story in for you guys. So anyway, after 3 years license, that's what we call. Some other people call it bachelor's or college or things like that. We call it license. And I also got employed for my first job ever as a junior animator to a feature film animation. So I was still in university studying for my master's degree, and I got a job. And I got that job because the pay was miserable and they advertised online on a job platform instead of sticking the job application at the university where my more talented and competent colleagues were. So, can't say a lot of people were fighting for that job, so I got it. But of course, I couldn't live on an animator's income, and that's how I became a graphic artist in the advertising and gaming industries. They pay better per hour of work, which was the minimum wage. They weren't allowed to pay less. And it was also full time, which meant health insurance. While as animator, the only jobs I could find were project based, and the insurance was iffy, and the pay was abysmal. So that's why I became a graphic artist. In conclusion, to be an illustrator wasn't my first or even second option. I couldn't do my third option either, but I do not regret being a graphic artist because I do enjoy my work. Even when I had to Photoshop burgers at a fast food chain I worked at briefly, I enjoyed making photos of food look better. Made me very hungry to look at food all day, but it was fun. Plus, I got employees discount and they had great salad and soup. The chain was started and owned by a heart surgeon that wanted to make people healthier. I also worked for kids' playgrounds chains as a marketing manager. I did 2D art while working for video game studios. I worked for small companies that service big companies like Warner Bros. And Nickelodeon, and we did tedious work like lip sync and corrected other studios' animations. And like I said, I enjoyed my work, even if the employers and their partners were horrible and forced us into abusive contracts. I never hated the work. The people were the problem. And today I work as a teacher and as a freelancer, and I also make sci fi comics in my spare time because of my love of science and nature. So, hopefully, this has helped you understand my convoluted journey and hope it helps you find what your options are. Because, of course, it differs from country to country. I am in East Europe, I am a EU citizen, and like these were my options, and like those were kind of like the major life events that happened that impacted my decision making. So, to end this, if you found this video format entertaining, let me know in the comments. If you'd like me to continue like this, what else would you want me to explain? And of course, I have art tutorials and live stream art events on this channel, which you can watch. And I'm very close to getting monetized, guys. I just need to get to 1,000 subs, and when I'll hold a art giveaway as I always do whenever I reach a milestone on my social media. So if you want me to reach that sooner, subscribe, comment, like, you know how this works. So yeah, cheers and hope you have a lovely week. Bye bye.